Hey everyone, what is going on? And in today's video we're going to be going over how to get better at Rainbow Six Siege. Now obviously I'm not the best of the best, I'm a console player, so this will mainly be focused on fellow console players, but feel free to stick around if you are PC, this might help you out as well. And also, just before people ask, I'm currently a Plat 2 and have held this rank for multiple seasons. I've basically got my head wrapped around the game, just small improvements I need to make in what's holding me back from ranking up even higher. But for now you know what I am, and let's dive into the video. So in Siege, there's a few things you need to focus on. Firstly, you have game mechanics. This includes your aim, movement, positioning, etc. Your game sense. This includes your knowledge of the game and other operators, along with smart picks and knowledge of your surroundings when in a game. And this comes in with the final thing, which is map knowledge. This includes knowing where you're going and giving callouts to support your team. I'm going to be touching on all of these points in today's video specifically, and if you feel like I left anything out, please let me know down in the comments below and I can potentially make a part 2 to this video. So starting with game mechanics, the first and most obvious thing in mechanics is your aim. Your aim is essential to improving as a whole player because you need to be able to win your gunfights more and more to slowly improve and rank up. So what are the best strategies to improve your aim? Well, for starters, I have a whole video covering this topic that I will link in the description below, but to quickly touch on it, the best and most effective way to improve your aim is Terrorist Hunt. Terrorist Hunt on normal difficulty is the best way to practice your aim, specifically as the terrorists are pretty dumb, which gives you the ability to practice your aim. Hop into a game of classic Terrorist Hunt, pick an operator that you already feel like you have a good idea of what's going on in terms of their weapons, then proceed to just work on your recoil control and your crosshair placement, which are the two main key points of aiming altogether. Another practice you can do to learn a new operator's pattern is to go outside on T-Hunt and shoot the gun at the wall without controlling it and learn its pattern and then just keep practicing shooting at the wall controlling its recoil. So you shoot it once and just spray, don't control it at all, and just see what the recoil pattern's like, and then just try and adjust your controller to control this recoil, and then just keep doing that until you feel like you're comfortable with how your recoil control is. But just remember to try and keep that bullet scatter as clustered as possible. This is the best way to teach yourself how to aim, and I would definitely recommend you do this on a daily basis if possible, and your aim will gradually improve. Just slowly putting in that work in Terrorist Hunt and obviously controlling that cluster and then crosshair placements along with this on the terrorists, consistent headshots, all that'll definitely help you improve your aim gradually over time if you put in the effort and the time. Now to touch on other mechanics associated, the next one's going to be positioning. Positioning is where you place yourself when peeking and winning gunfights. This is probably a given, but fully exposing your whole body gives you a much higher percentage of getting killed. And if you focus on concealing your body and using your surroundings to cover yourself while peeking, this will help you win more gunfights, which is what positioning is. So to give an example, when peeking a doorway, if you're in the vault section of the aviator objective on Villa, there is a door pushing into the game's corridor. If you're fully peeking this door with your reticle in the middle of the door, your body is going to be heavily exposed to this doorway, which gives the attacker more of a target to hit. But if you shift to the left side more and hold a tight angle on the door, like I'm showing you now, your body is much more concealed. Obviously, you're not safe, your head will still be visible, but this conceals much more of your body and gives you a higher chance of winning the gunfight because the peek on the angle you're holding to the attacker has to push forward into the door, exposing themselves to get the angle on you. Now there are other mechanics to touch on now, but I do want to cover some other topics without making this video too long, so do let me know if you would like anything else that I may have missed, and I will make a part 2. So moving on to the second point of this video, we're going to be talking about your game sense. Now this is just as important as your aim to rank up. You need to have mechanics and sense at a high tier to slowly progress up the ranks, and if you lack one of these, it may be what's holding you back and keeping you down in the gold silvers. Now the main thing to touch up on is your general knowledge. You need to be able to think about and determine what operators are required for what map. You need to know on the defending side what type of push that they are doing within the first few minutes and adjust your gameplay to play against these type of pushes. So to give an example of picking the right operators, if the defenders are to choose the kitchen site on Cafe, bringing operators like Sledge are very helpful because majority of the roof above this site is destructible, which can be opened and scurry the defenders, which will make them lose focus for a thermite or an ace to open the bakery wall and then push through the site. Along with this, possibly opening the hatches from above into refrigerator. This can just be some examples of the thinking you need basically every game and how you can push each individual site and just playing smart, instead of obviously only focusing on kills, because although this may work, your percentage of winning is far higher if you focus on playing smart and together as a whole team. Now for the defending site, majority of the time people do the same pushes depending on the site. A good example of this would be the armory site's lock-on border. Basically every time there is a thermite and a thatcher trying to open the armory wall. So as defenders you need to be proactive and bring electricity to stop the simple push, and especially if thatcher is banned, then also utilizing a possible roamer holding the CCTV security room behind this wall is a good distraction to make them focus on that to waste time and gradually just run out the clock so they cannot get the wall open as quickly and as easily. Another counter could be to bring a mirror to watch that wall. These are all things like putting a mirror on the armory wall, or either putting a mirror in the middle of the armory wall and then rotating over to the small little room. I'm not 100% what that's called, but the small little room, put a mirror, that soft mirror there, and wide swing an open mirror watching that. That does work pretty well if you can pull off the strategy correctly. Just all things you need to think about when you're holding the defensive side of basically every objective. These are all things that can be done against the common attack strategy on border, and this is what I mean by knowledge of the game. Basically, in a short summary, just knowing how to play each map and who to bring. It's basically all, like, it's just stuff that will help you out in the middle of a game. Like, you just need to think about things, get your knowledge up, and use your head. And for the final point of this video, it's going to be map knowledge. I'm sure you guys have heard this one before, but knowing every map's location, layouts, and strategies is very useful. Very useful intelligence to have, especially at a high rank. The best way to teach yourself a map is just hop into a local custom game with only you in it, with the map that you're trying to learn, and just walk around and use the compass in the bottom right corner of your HUD that will tell you the rooms, locations, and just simply try to teach yourself all the callouts required and the layout of the map. There are also there's things on YouTube if you just look up a map guide, a map knowledge thing. There's quizzes on a website called Sporkle as well. I've heard of people doing that as well, where you can just teach yourself the map and gradually just do them over and over again, like the YouTube videos, the quizzes, and then eventually just imprint it into your mind. This may help better if you find that easy to remember than walking through the map and just learning them yourself. Obviously, callouts are useless if you are solo queuing, which I know some people are stuck doing because they don't have a team. But the best way for you guys to know the maps yourself and try to play with what the team is doing more than playing individually, because you're way below your rank. There's no point going on an individual attack. And also, just quickly, if you guys are in need of teammates, in the description there's a link to my Discord. Currently have about 800 members, and the majority of them are from another video of mine, which I said the same thing about finding teammates. So if you are in need of some teammates, but of course, no promises. But of course, learning the maps are really easy just by playing casual alone. I feel like most people know where they're going after a short amount of playing, especially in casual, but learning the callouts and defender roaming and anchoring rotations is the main things you need to learn when you're learning your maps. And just to quickly touch up on the defender and anchoring rotations, so you'll find that majority of the time there's always going to be at least one roamer unless the team is playing 5 anchors, which probably won't work out very well for them because it gives the attackers a reason to push around and around and around and just completely cluster in and just take over the site. So don't do this if you guys are watching this. Always try to have at least one roamer, basically any objective. 5 anchors it can work, but it's not going to work as effectively as, say, a couple roamers would be, because having that roaming presence is what slows down the attackers, and this is what wastes the time, which forces them to plant towards the end of the round, which can make it much easier to defend, because they have to push you, and you guys are just holding angles, and it's much easier to defend. So always try to utilize roamers just quickly, and in terms of map knowledge, learning these common defender rotations while they're roaming is also something that may help you out a lot. A prime example is if you are on Villa and you're playing the Aviator objective again. I know I already used this as an example. Majority of the time you'll find that if there is someone roaming, they'll either be down in the living room area right below the site, or they will be over in the trophy side. So these are the two most common roam locations. You'll find that no one really ever is downstairs, like the downstairs. But if they are, they're just basically wasting their roam, because no one goes down there in ranked, because that part of the map's basically useless because there's no objectives down there. They're all in the middle and the top floor. So yeah, just knowing these common rotations and teaching yourself this. Again, there's multiple YouTube videos out, and I'm thinking about starting map guides soon, so I might be able to help you guys out there too, so make sure to stay tuned to the channel. And that is going to wrap up this video. There's a lot more stuff that I could included, but obviously making a 30-minute video probably won't be appealing to a lot of you. So if you guys like this video, make sure to leave a like. Let me know down below if you want a part 2 where I can touch on some things like attacker, defender strategies, droning, etc. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Appreciate all of you guys by dropping by. Before you leave, make sure to drop a sub as well. This will support the channel, and we are on that final stretch to 10k. And yeah, that's a big achievement for me, so I'd love all of you guys to be a part of that. And if you would like to support this video and find more players to improve, make sure to leave a like. I stream on Twitch 6 days a week as well from 7:15 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time. Love to see you guys there, and as well, especially if you have any further questions. But other than that, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.